Hi, welcome to Inside the Booth. This is our X-Men review. Again, I'm David Arena.
And I'm Dan Arena. All right, you go first, and you tell me what you think about the plot, and we'll discuss it.
All right, so this is X-Men,
1.
the first X-Men from the year 2000.
I think it was 1999.
No, it was 2000.
Was it? Okay.
I double checked. It was 2000. This movie did transform superhero movies, and I'll just leave it at that. Point number 1, the plot. In this movie, the main storyline, we get a bunch of characters,
Yeah.
and with little background on each character. No story.
Unless you already know what the comic books are.
Correct. And mainly, the X-Men already exist. Wolverine is found, though, by the X-Men and joins the team. That's the plot. So, in my opinion, that was a boring and slow-moving film.
Yes. If you don't know anything about X-Men, period, you don't know what is going on in reality of this movie. Because, in my opinion, was poorly written. Because there's no character build-up.
It's slow-moving like my brother.
Very slow-moving. If I didn't know anything about the comic books, I would not have understood the movie at all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, there were spots in the movie where it didn't make a lick of sense because when Logan's having that dream, Rogue just appears in his room. For what reason? What apparent reason was that for?
Yeah.
I mean, did she need to ask him something so she came in? Or did she hear him? You know, I mean, how can you hear some guy going, having a nightmare, and you're trying to wake a guy up?
So, for this point, I give it a 0. I don't give it a point at all. There's no point for me on this one.
Yeah, for the plot, I think I would also give it a 0.
Acting.
Oh, the acting.
All right.
Oh, the acting.
The acting. The acting was okay.
Smelled like a big pile of pooty.
Cody.
Yep, pooty.
What is that? We have some really good actors in this movie,
Great actors.
but I feel as
Great
if
actors.
they withheld from really putting their emotions into these characters.
I think that could have been the writer's fault, though, just because there was more just like one-liners.
Except for Hugh Jackman, who got better towards the end of the movie. That also includes Magneto's character,
Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen. So for acting, I give it a point, only because Hugh Jackman in the last decade has played Wolverine, and he's made that character, and he's done a good job being Wolverine. So I give it to Hugh Jackman. Good job, Hugh.
In my opinion, I still don't give it a point. I'm sorry.
Cinematography. Alright, overall there was some good shots, but for the most part it was slow, boring. The film didn't really move hardly at all. Visually, in 2000, with the technology they had, they had some really good visual effects, but the cinematography did not help move the story along, in my opinion. It was boring.
Yeah, and in my opinion, for cinematography, especially the snow scene. You remember the snow scene?
Oh, yeah.
It would have been better if they didn't put any of that blue tint or color grading in it, because it took out the vibrancy of the colors. And there's already, because there's snow, there's really no colors anyways. So the parts that did have colors, you really couldn't see it well. Yeah, I mean, that's maybe what they were going for, but to me, overall, because I do camera work too, it just looked a little bit on the muddy side, you know, just all the colors were kind of meshed together. There was no real contrasty type stuff happening so your eye would focus on certain things.
It was pretty dark.
Yeah, in my opinion, the cinematography really stunk. They could have done different things to make it look better. you know, different lighting effects maybe would have made it look better. I don't know. So yeah, I didn't really like it that much. So it doesn't get a point from me.
Yeah, I don't give it a point either.
Okay.
The score. The music of the movie. Music makes a difference in the movie.
Yes, it does.
It helps build the emotions for the person watching the movie.
Yeah.
It gives them the feeling of being there.
Yeah.
So
and
when it comes
it gives
to
your emotions for the character's emotion at the same time.
Correct. So when it comes to the score of X-Men, I don't know if there was anybody making music for this movie because I didn't hear much. There was like little.
Yeah, it was very bland, very soft in the background.
Yeah.
It didn't really have.
Even the action scenes didn't have an
Yeah,
upbeat
it
music.
didn't have any, like you said, no emotions in the music. You know, your emotions are supposed to change for each type of sound that happens.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there for me.
The only, for me, the only time that the score was any good was at the end of the movie, when Hugh Jackman pretty much sacrifices himself. That was the only time the score actually worked, was at the end.
Yeah.
But other than that, I hate to say it, but it sucked.
Yeah, the score didn't do it for me either. So I don't give it a point for that.
Yeah, me either. Alright, allegory. Now, this portion of our review is about taking the movie and drawing a Christian worldview out of it and how we can use it on a day-to-day lifestyle. And this is what makes Inside the Booth different, is that we bring Christ into the movies and we draw that out. Allegory. What I pulled from X-Men is that the Christian worldview point that I was able to draw out from this movie, just like the church, we all have problems. So X-Men, all the characters have problems, they have flaws and faults. But just like the church, so do we. But just like in the movie, the X-Men were there to build each other up. So the church is to build each other up and use the gifts that God has given us. Just like the X-Men with all their gifts, their mutant gifts, their powers, supposed to be there to help each other, not to destroy each other. And another thing that I drew from it was that we can't fight alone. We need one another in the body of Christ to fight. Just like in X-Men, the X-Men need each other to do the battling. They can't do it alone.
I guess you got it on point. Yours was pretty good. I was just thinking throughout the whole thing about Logan and how he was searching for the answers, you know?
There you go.
As a new believer in Christ, or as somebody who doesn't really know the Bible much at all, and looking for, you know, what his answers are in life. So I guess I'll give it a point.
Yeah, I give it a point too on that one.
All right. That gets 2 points from us. Hey, good job.
I gave
Okay,
him
so
2
from
points.
me, 1 point.
X-Men got 2 points from me, so they got a total of 3.
Total of 3 points altogether. You know, but go watch the movie for yourself.
Yep.
You know,
Check it out. I'm sure you've probably seen it 10 times already.
Yeah, and you've probably already seen it a million times, not just 10, probably a million. It turned the tide for all the superhero movies. That's for sure. Because it made them think, oh, you know what? We can make a good superhero movie. And back then, you know, when we were younger, it was a good movie. It was decent.
I liked it then.
Yeah, back then we liked
2000.
it because, you know,
I was in high school.
Yeah, our brains were not developed.
No.
So go check it out for yourself. Tell us what you think about the movie.
Comments below.
Leave a like and a comment below if you like this, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell. Make sure you get all the videos that come up once a week. Thank you for watching,
Thank you.
and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Yo, that was just lame. If you're gonna say something like that, make it sound funny, please.